Road to Success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.
Coming back home from abroad has been a challenge to many. However, there are those who have returned home and have created successful businesses. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. We're talking about how to settle back home after being in the diaspora for a long time. And I'm joined by Muthoni Karanja, the principal designer of Urban Interiors. Welcome, Muthoni.
Thank you, Grace.
Muthoni, you have been abroad for a while.
Yes, I have.
And now you're back home and you have started a business.
Correct.
Could you share with us that journey, how you managed to come back home?
Well, the reason I decided to move back home is because my husband and I had a son. And prior to having a son, we knew that we wanted to raise our children back home with surrounded by the family and with the Kenyan cultures. We wanted the children to be able to identify themselves as Kenyans. And so that was the main goal for us to move back home.
What is also interesting about you is that 5 years ago, when you were abroad, you actually had started a business.
Yes, I have.
So what happened to that?
I started the business on the side, actually. My training is in healthcare administration. And at the time I started my business, I worked as a provider manager. And even though the job was fulfilling and well-paying, I felt the need to do something that I was very passionate about and something that I enjoyed doing. So I started designing my friends and my coworkers' homes after they'd seen what I'd done with my space. And then from there, it grew to where I was able to offer my services to property developers as well as people who had their homes in the market for sale.
You had a company already abroad. So what happened to it?
Well, I closed shop and I brought everything that I had here. And prior to that, I had visited a couple of times just to do my market research to see if the market was ready for this kind of business. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was. And since May of last year, I reopened the business.
Muthoni, you're the current principal designer of Urban Interiors. So exactly what does it do?
Urban Interiors is a full-scale design company. We offer a range of services. We do home staging. We do model homes. We do home and office interiors. And we also do consultation.
What is home staging and modeling?
Home staging is where when a client puts their home in the market for sale, and the way that you sell your home is not the way that you live in it. So we come in and we depersonalize, we declutter, because a lot of times we find that we accumulate things that we don't need in the house. And by cluttering the house seems smaller than it really is. So we come in and we depersonalize, we declutter, and we fix anything that's broken so that when the person who's the potential buyer is coming in to buy the home, they're not looking at that home as work. They're already putting in a lot of money into the house, so that you don't want them to feel like they have to put in any more money into the home to fix the broken items. The home model is when a property developer has a couple of homes in the market for sale, and we come in and we stage that particular home so that that home shows off the best features of the home. It helps the developer to have their home in the market for a shorter period of time, because once the potential buyer comes in, they're emotionally attached to that home, and it makes them envision themselves living in that home.
What are the main differences you found working abroad and now you're in Kenya?
The differences I have found, which has been a challenge for me, is finding good quality products. And when I say products, I'm talking about soft furnishings, your beddings, your bathroom rags. I find that the good quality is usually expensive, and most of the clients feel that they're unable to afford that. So to cap that, I have decided to bring my own products into the market.
What kind of products are you bringing in?
I'm bringing in soft furnishings, like I mentioned, the beddings, your bathroom rags, your pots and pans, your decorative accessories.
So outside of the soft furnishings, any other differences culture-wise? How do you manage, the different cultures in these two different worlds?
Managing of cultures has also been a challenge for me again, with dealing with the foremen and the fundis and the painters. It was a struggle to find people that were very detail-oriented, and I'm very happy to say that I have found people that I can depend on now, the team that I have of the fundis, the painters, and the sewing specialists.
What are the reasons that kept you, away from home for so long?
I think it's the comfort zone. The fact that I already had a job, I had an income, and I was already very familiar with my surroundings. Moving from the US and coming back here was something I really had to think about, because now I have a child. How am I going to provide for that child? And then, of course, the politics. When I moved, it was after the 2007 elections, and a lot of people asked me, are you sure you want to move back home with what's going on back home? And I thought about it and I said, at the end of the day, this is home. I'm never going to feel like the US is my home. So just the fact that I wanted to really move back home and be able to make it work.
So has it been worthwhile?
Yes.
Coming back home?
Definitely. I have no regrets. I've been very happy. I have a lot of help with my son. And just being able to see my son playing around with his grandparents is just enough of a reward to me.
Modoni, you have come back from abroad and you have started a business. Perhaps you could share with us the different processes of starting a business. Was it a challenge doing the same, or rather opening a new business in Kenya, having just closed one in the US? You can answer that question after the break. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business.
Equity Bank has made paying taxes easier and more convenient for you. With your eSlip from KRA, you can now pay your taxes at any Equity branch countrywide. Take advantage of our extensive network of branches across the country to pay your taxes today.
You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. My guest is Modoni Karanja, the principal designer of Urban Interiors. Modoni, having settled back in Nairobi, you've started your business. What was the difference in process starting a new business for somebody who's just come home from the US for such a long time?
The process is actually the same. In both countries, you do have to register your company. So I did that. And also marketing. I've had to market the company as well. And other than that, the only difference was when I was looking for a team that I could work with, people who really understood my vision and the vision of the company. And I must say that I have been very lucky to finally find a team that I feel that also sees the vision of the company, and we're in line in that.
Is the environment enabling for you, those who have come in? Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel out of place?
I actually felt very comfortable. The one thing that I did while I was there is I visited home at least every 2 years. So I was very familiar with everything that was going on in Kenya. I also kept myself very informed with what's going on in Kenya. So I never felt like I was gone for the 10 years that I was.
How does the process start, for example? If I wanted to sell my home, how do we start the process?
Well, if we're staging the home that you're trying to sell, like I said, we come in and we declutter, we depersonalize, and we create an environment that a buyer wants to be able to identify with. If you want change in your own home, then that's when we come in. We discuss with you what it is that you want in terms of colors. Do you want to change your furniture? Do you want us to change the texture of your walls? And then after you tell me exactly what you want, then I go back and I sit down and I come up with a plan that we go over. And if we're in agreement, then the process begins.
Okay, and how long does that usually take from meeting point to the time where things are now looking good?
It depends on the scale. And if it's just a home that we're doing, it takes about a week from the time that we meet, discuss what you want us to do. Then we have to source for the products, and then the work begins, and to the end where you get to see the end product.
What is the major difference between an interior designer and a decorator?
An interior designer it's a full scale. They will break down walls if they have to. And an interior decorator just comes and just does the soft furnishings, meaning they change your furniture or they paint just a wall.
Modoni, how do people find you? You talked about marketing, and so how do you reach out to people?
I'm currently working from home, but most of my clients come to me through referrals or word of mouth. We also do viral marketing, where we send direct emails to the property developers. The other thing that we do is that we have a website, and we also have our page on our Facebook.
Are you working just from Nairobi? The reason I'm asking is because, the counties have opened up. If I am in the western area or northeastern and I wanted to work with you, would you be willing to work outside of Nairobi?
Yes, I do work outside of Nairobi. I actually currently have a project that I'm doing in Nakuru.
So seeing that you can work anywhere in Kenya, you can take orders from anyone. What is your vision?
I hope to build urban interiors to greater heights, to where we're able to take up projects within the East African region, as well as create more employment for a very talented youth. And also I'd like to be able to have an interior design TV show where I demystify the myth that design is very expensive, and also to broaden the horizons of our viewers.
You've come back just a year ago, and Nairobi seems very saturated with interior designers. So what sets you apart?
I have an eye for design, and I'm very detail-oriented. And the fact that I have done this outside of the country, I'm able to work with different kinds of textures in terms of wall, because in the US we have different textures of the walls. You're dealing with different kinds of materials as well. So I'm able to work with both the products that we have here in Kenya and what we have in the US. And also what sets me apart is that I'm able to work with different budgets, be it a shoestring budget or you have a very huge budget. I'm able to be creative enough to where I'm able to accommodate anyone.
Modoni, we're very inspired by your story to know that you can actually come from abroad, settle back home, and start a business and flourish. So I think your story has given people the opportunity that it is possible. Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Grace, and thanks for having me.
You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. Join us next week, even as we continue to bring you more inspiring stories. God bless.
Road to Success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.